new tournament, new deck list. This time I found a brew. It's called UGw Turbo Lands, and it's normally the Turbo Lands decks are blue and green, and this deck splashes white with the purpose of playing Souls to Plowshares. And yeah, I found this deck, I guess, on gatherling.com, but as I was researching for the author, I couldn't find anyone. So sorry for not providing you a link this time. But yeah, the thing we are seeing on the first side are the four Souls to Plowshares and missing Mox Diamonds. I don't know how common they are for the blue-green decks, but the blue-green decks are relying heavily on the time warps, and here we just have one time warp, so it's a bit odd. But on the other hand, the core is pretty similar. The two creatures you've got for Oath of Druids are still Shard Phoenix and Ancestor's Chosen, like in Parfait back then. We got 24 lands combined with 4 explorations. On the sideboard, we got the Akroma, like in almost every Oath deck. We got some Brain Freeze against control decks, some Blue Blasts, some Annul, some Disenchant effects, and 3 Meddling Mages. They are a bit awkward with your own Oath of Druids, but sometimes they are necessary to have, and they win the game on their own. And we got some graveyard removal here. But what I am really wondering about is that there are 2 opts in this deck, and where are the Enlightening Tutors? So I think we need at least 2 or maybe 4 Enlightening Tutors to find our Horn of Greeds. And the Oath of Druids in the matchup where it's pretty important. But let's see what the tournament will bring us. Alright, we are on the draw here. It's a pretty decent hand. Really want to keep this. We are on our first match with the Turbo Lands deck. And I'm pretty excited how this will play out. Could be a Dreadnought list. Okay, Portent. He was on a mulligan to 6, so did he keep a non-lander there? Finding green mana turn 1 would be great, because then we can drop Exploration. So he did a shuffle there with no land drop. That's brutal. Okay, drop the island here, pass a turn. Okay, he found. So probably a combo deck there. Just need to open the lock here to see if he shuffles again or not. But this seems like a black and blue Dreadnought deck. Probably with some amount of Psychotox. Shuffle again, okay, this is pretty unlucky. And step opt. We still want to find green mana. That's not the right thing here. Okay, another Counterspell is great. Second Exploration is pretty weak, so we are vulnerable against the potential days. Second Exploration is bad, so we really need an Undiscovered Paradise here. Another Portent. Tempting to counter this, but I don't think that's the right thing to do. He still needs to dig for the card, and next turn we can play a third land. Have the ability to pay for a card like this. Okay, no shuffle this time. So we will start the game here. Okay, forest is great in this spot because I want to land an exploration here. We can still drop a land to have the ability to pay for days. Next turn we have double counterspell up. Sooner or later the chosen might drop. But we really need an Undiscovered Paradise in the Horn of Greed to take advantage from the explorations. Okay. Flooded Strand, Plains. I want to drop the exploration because we have the ability to pay for days anyway. And it's funny that with the power of exploration, you have the ability to play the two lands. You have bounce with Gush again. Okay, is it a combo deck maybe? Yeah, might be the Ill-Gotten Gains deck. Okay, City of Brass. Maybe it was a bit early to drop this because we play Horn of Greed. I could play the Chosen here. Yeah, we drew a pretty awkward sequence of cards with the late explorations and the Chosen. This is fine for me. We have a double counter, so we can counter discard spell and then his combo spell. Yeah, dropping the City of Brass was wrong because we need to draw Horn of Greed to get into the game, or a card like Gush. I might crack the fetch land because I want to have the ability to redraw Time Warp. It's on the bottom of the deck right now. Yeah, Gush would be the best draw, I guess, or Impulse. Do we have something in the sideboard if he's on the Ill-Gotten Gains deck? Some Meddling Mages, some graveyard removal. Brain Freeze could be decent, but I think we can't force him to draw extra card. The Annul should be great because we can counter Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, it's really deep in the think tank. So I just look the deck up. Ill-Gotten Gains. Yeah, it should be Ill-Gotten Gains. They play one Hunting Pack in the sideboard. Mana short. Brain Freeze. Okay, Duress. They got the Ill-Gotten Gains from me. It's fine. I mean, we could even let the first resolve. Buy back Opt, Counterspell, Counterspell. But we don't have any clock here, so might be a problem. He's on 7 cards, so there will be plenty discard, I guess. So the thing is, if he plans to win with ill-gotten gains, we can rebuy the counterspells. Cunning Wish, probably. Okay, just deep analysis. This is fine for me. Okay, in the end step, I will fetch. Gush would be great. Okay, exactly what I've told. So if I hadn't dropped the city, this could have been decent. Don't want to drop it right now, because he could just draw 1 or 2 lands with this, and if we brick, we don't draw land, plus we don't have enough counter mana up. Okay, probably he goes for deep analysis flashback. Another mental note. The good thing is that mill plan does not work against us because we have 2 Gaea's Blessing. So we just need to look at the hunting pack plan, making a lot of beasts. Okay, is City of Traitors in the deck? Not in the build I've here. Okay, time might be an issue for our opponent. It was 7 turns and he has 10 minutes. Oh, second Horn of Greed. So bad. This is exactly what with this kind of deck happens. If you're not paired against the deck where the Oath plan is great, and you will just get stuck with so many bad cards in hand if they come in the wrong sequence. But at this point, I still feel decent about this. Shuffle was important due to the fact that we have Counterspells and okay, Time Warp here could be awkward if we try to cast Time Warp and he has a Counterspell for that. But in the list I have here, there is no Counterspell. So I try to resolve this. Could be bad, but I really want to take an extra turn here. Hopefully we draw land, and then we can make a chain with exploration. Okay, this is fine. Play Horn of Greed. Drop a land to draw a card. I don't want to fetch in response, because I want to draw more land. This is probably the worst card we can draw. We can maybe get 1 beast with this, but he will have some great effects if he decides to drop more lands for Horn of Greed. And if we don't draw another land, tough game. Even as he had such a bad start, but we do like 1, 2, 3, 4 dead cards. So basically a mulligan to 3 if you convert this. Frantic Search is fine. We have to prevent Cunning Wish and ill-gotten gains. But besides that, because Cunning Wish can search for the card which grants him a 4/4 beast for each spell he played. And the great thing is that if he wants to play the ill-gotten gains and cracks the Landstill diamond in response. Okay, 2 cards left, and we have 2 counterspells. He has a deep analysis, which he probably plays in response. Ill-gotten gains. Gives priority for Landstill diamond. No. I counter this. He can rebuild with the help of deep analysis, but we have another counterspell, so okay, deep analysis flashback is yeah, it's fine for me. Could backfire if he draws exactly this card spell plus another ill-gotten gains. And we really need to draw land. Gush would be great. Okay, another ill-gotten gains. He cracks the Landstill diamond. We have another counterspell here. And I think he concedes. Yes. Okay. We have a lot of bad cards. And I don't think our plan B is to win with Meddling Mages. Could work. This needs to be cut. Not sure on the swords. I don't know how much cards I can bring in. We want Meddling Mages. We want Brain Freezes. Disenchants. Annul. The Furnace. The Crypt. I'm not sure about the Angel. Might be decent at some point. But I don't know what to cut for that. I don't think we win this with Angels. So these 10 out. These 10 in. There should be. So if we have Meddling Mages, it should be a fine matchup. Okay, that's a decent hand. Brain Freeze could be great. He might have a Duras for that, but if he has turn 1 Duras, so Phyrexian Furnace is great to play with his graveyard and make his ill-gotten gains worse, and there's a lot of for him to handle. So easy keep here. I don't think Swords to Plowshares are great because he can just make so much beast tokens that we don't have any chance to get out alive. Okay, here I want to play the Furnace. He might have a card like Annul. Side Dark Ritual. Yes, small reminder, if you mill X cards from your library, you can decide how to stack them in the graveyard, because the Furnace will go for the bottom card. Next turn we got Counterspell up, or even Brain Freeze. I'm not sure if we can do anything with Brain Freeze, to be honest. Gush is sweet. Gush in combination with Horn of Greed will need some time until we can play Horn of Greed, because we need to have Counterspell up. But okay, here in the end step I play Opt. Null is fine. I want this. Another Counterspell, okay. Play the Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Would be great if he plays something. Okay, another Flooded Strand is fine, so we have double Counterspell up. Plus the ability to play Gush sooner or later. Would be great to find a Meddling Mage with Gush. But can we play Gush in this spot, or I don't know. Maybe I want to hardcast Gush. Because, yeah, we will lose 2 land drops if we play it with an alternative cost, and we are set back on mana and we need to discard, so I think this will be a hardcast Gush. Portent targeting him. Okay, no shuffle, so skip till the end step, go for the portent. Now the question is, what do I want to fetch? I think at least, okay, 1 plains 2 more islands, the plains for potential Meddling Mage. Okay, if he counters this, it would be absolutely fine. Okay, no counter, second Gush. Great draws. Would love to draw a Meddling Mage here to have a clock. Okay, is it enough for me to drop Horn of Greed? 1, 2, 3, and then we have just one counterspell up. This seems too greedy. I will wait a bit longer for Gush. This could have been a blue source, would have been great. Plus he will have such an advantage from the Horn of Greed if I drop this. Yeah, Phyrexian Furnace is doing a lot of work here. We just have to prevent the route where he makes beasts. Because due to the fact we have 2 Gaea's Blessings in the deck, he can't win with the mill plan. Okay, first Eurus is enough for me to counter, I guess. Or maybe not. This is fine. He might go for Brain Freeze there, but then he has to fight a lot of counterspells. Plus we have the ability to gush for more counterspells if necessary. And he has just 1 blue mana to follow up. A card like Lotus Petal might be enough for us to counter. To use the Annul and prevent him from making a combo turn. Okay, yeah. So fine trade. We are just saved 2 blue mana there. He knows what we are up against, so this is enough for me to counter. Because he had his land drop and I don't want him to make a combo turn with this enabling black. Okay, Gush or Impulse. I think Hardcast Gush is still fine. Okay, Time Warp is great. 1, 2, 3. We are 1 mana short. So I try to cast Time Warp here. It's cool that we have another Furnace activation now. We might need exactly this. And I want to play Impulse to use my mana. He might have a mana short he wants to cast in the next upkeep. Then I have to play the counterspell Okay, he's thinking a long time about this. I don't know why, to be honest. Maybe he's away from keyboard, but I can't think about anything why he should counter this. Or okay, Meddling Mage is great. So we have the Meddling Mage here. Any order. Okay, another Paradise. So play can be. I think Meddling Mage is fine here. What do we name? Probably Ill-Gotten Gains. So he has to get rid of the Meddling Mage before he can. Okay, and I think I want to drop the Horn of Greed. Might be a bit too greedy, but I don't know. I think he will have more counterspells. Disenchant is fine. Yeah, and he has 7 cards in hand. Okay, he just skipped the whole turn. So it's a small argument to bounce Undiscovered Paradise here. Yeah, he packs in. So odd game, but maybe the Furnace was too strong there. All right, on the play, let's see what we have in the starting 7. Not keepable. Maybe I was too hyped here. Take a mulligan. Not great either, but I think I will keep this. Ship the forest here. And I think I want to lead with Island. If he has a turn 1 drop, I need to handle with Swords to Plowshares. I can play Undiscovered Paradise next turn. Or Windswept Heath. But I want to have the ability to cast Counterspell if I draw one. Okay, Savannah Alliance. I want to get rid of that immediately. Because if he is in a blue-white build and have some counterspells in hand, this will make a lot of pressure, and we don't have an Oath of Druids right now. Okay, Whipcorder. Good card, but maybe a bit too fair against us. Oath of Druids. He might have an answer for that, but if not, he's forced to sort his own Whipcorder until he has an answer. Or maybe he has Disenchant or something like this. But even if he gets the Oath, we have Gush soon. Yeah, Disenchant for that. Attack. Okay, Counterspell is sweet. Maybe I should have waited. I don't think so. Because at that point we don't even know if he's mono white or has blue splash and could counter the O's, or black splash to have discard or mesmeric fiends. Gush is a decent card, I guess. Okay, he will port an island in the upkeep. And then we will drop Undiscovered Paradise to have counter mana up. Silver Knight. I think I counter this. I want him to have a 8-turn clock and not a 4-turn clock. Okay, there's a small argument. Okay, potting white is great for us. Another counterspell. Okay, Undiscovered Paradise. Ships a turn. Wasteland might be great here for our Undiscovered Paradise. But as soon as we start playing Gush, I think he will port again upkeep. A double port is strong. So I might... Maybe I need to bounce the Undiscovered Paradise to play Oath of Druids or find the answer for Whipcorder. What could happen here? Gush could find a card like Impulse. Yeah, I think I need to Gush in the end step to get more information about my draws. And he's really thinking about if one port is enough. Okay, another Whipcorder. I think now it's time to... I want to Gush first to see what I will draw. Impulse. Yeah, I want to play the Impulse here. Oath is great. But the problem is he can port for one time. Exploration might be decent. Not sure here. Oath is the best one. I think I need Oath, even if I can't drop it next turn. But do I have to bounce the Undiscovered Paradise? I don't think so. If he goes for the Undiscovered Paradise and upkeep, I still can tap it to bounce it in the next turn cycle. But really interesting game. If he can handle the second Oath, we are in trouble. But this will need like 2 more turns. Of course, next turn he can just port. Would be great if he... Okay, this is fine. So he probably has another answer for the Oath. Exploration is okayish. I try to land the Oath here. He needs to have exactly an answer for that. Otherwise, no matter what creature we flip, we are in a decent shape. And the great thing is the Undiscovered Paradise gets bounced. Okay, Honor of the Pure. It's normally... so the Shard Phoenix is not great anymore. The Honor of the Pure is Crusade here. But it's forbidden from Wizards of the Coast, so there is no ability or possibility to play it. If he has exactly a Disenchant now, we can't win, I guess. But he's probably thinking about dropping another creature or porting. Another Whipcaller, that's strong. I need to find my chosen. Hopefully with a lot of cards below. Yeah, Honor of the Pure was sick. Okay, Shard Phoenix is a bad draw. I think we could stabilize, but will be hard. Because he still has a port up. Tough spot to be in. Yeah, this was great. Otherwise, we would have been in a great shape. Okay, he goes for white. That's fine for me. Exploration is pretty dead at that point. We could just lose pretty quickly next turn if we find the chosen too fast. But it's one of 49 cards. So I'm on blocking duty here. Block this. Sacrifice it to send a sign. Yeah, that's tough. We really need to flip 40 cards or something, or not maybe this much, but we can still do double port, so we can't time warp. But Honor of the Pure was too much. There was even a small argument for counter this, but we really need to protect our chosen at any cost. But even if we have the chosen online, he will just tap it and chip a lot of damage in. Okay. So we really need to flip at least 9 cards. Naturalize would be a very good draw. Okay, this was great. So I think I have to place blessings first, so they are resolved. Last. Okay, first I have to put any order here. I hope I don't make anything wrong. Then blessing 1, blessing 2, chosen. Go to 35. This is absolutely nice. Okay, but he will ship 9 damage in each turn, and this will stay around for too long. I can't get rid of it, and he can just tap it each turn. So we are really in trouble. Okay, forest here is fine. This is fine for me. Play forest. Play exploration. Play island. Undiscovered Paradise. Really facing some legs here. Okay. So we ship the turn here. Problem is we have no way to get rid of the chosen. Okay, chips in 9 damage. Yeah, I think a card like Gush would be great. Because then we could getting ahead with cards in hand a bit. I will start attack. Do I want to start attack next turn? If I attack, I chip in 4 damage. But he chips in 3 damage more. I need to calculate this, I guess. I can't do this. I just need to find my Naturalize. This is a way out, I guess. Okay, I want to bounce my Undiscovered Paradise to have one more land drop and to secure it from Schaden ports. And if we draw a Horn of Greed. Okay, this is a blocker and it will kill the Savannah lines. We are facing huge legs here. Hope we will be fine. Okay, flip another Shard Phoenix. Okay, it's great that he has to tap 2 creatures probably now. And float wide. Yes. So we need to protect our chosen with counter spells if he has Swords to Plowshares. And it's great that the Shard Phoenix will hit the Savannah line here. I think he will port in upkeep again after the draw. So we can't play the Time Warp if we don't draw a land. Okay, this is a land. Port here. Okay, if he has exactly Swords to Plowshares, we are in a bad space. And here's a question, do I want to sacrifice the Shard Phoenix to... I can't get it back in upkeep, but I could do a reshuffle then. I don't think I want to do this. But I want to have an extra turn. Really need some action now. Okay, yield on this. Take an extra turn, he can't port there. Okay, here I want to reshuffle to have the Time Warp back in the deck. We do not have a third creature right now, but we will reshuffle the Time Warp. Okay. So here's a small argument for me to sacrifice Shard Phoenix. But I don't think it's not necessary at that point. He's in the think tank. Maybe he has Swords to Plowshares. I don't know if we can build a situation where we can sacrifice it, buy it back to make 4 damage and replay it. Okay, reshuffle, reshuffle. Forest is not great. If I attack here, he goes to 12. And then maybe attacking here is fine. I want to drop the Undiscovered Paradise. Not sure here. I think we can't attack. We really need Naturalize to get that going. Does it? No, it's First Strike, not Vigilance. Vigilance would have been great. Yeah, I kept the forest if we draw a Horn of Greed. Now he needs to tap. We really need to protect our creatures and Oath of Druids. Okay, this is fine. Okay, here we will just block and then sacrifice, so he does not get any damage in. Okay, this is for tapping that and shipping 9 in next turn, but didn't change the math, I guess. Okay. In the end step, I would like to tap for mana to get it back on hand, but now we really need to draw something. So reshuffle Phoenix. Yeah, that's fine. So is this... Yeah, even Swords to Plowshares would be fine. But we need something. Yeah, we really need to take a look at the time now. Okay, Horn of Greed is great. He will port a card, but it's fine for me. So 1, 2, 3, Horn of Greed. This could give us really an advantage now. Undiscovered Paradise as first land drop. Yield to this. Play Forest. Gush is great. Cast that. So we have foil up. I think we have that going now, but we really need to take a look at the time. Here I want to drop the second Horn of Greed. Drop a Flooded Strand, draw 2 cards. That's great. Fetch that away. So we still have the free counter mana up. We are not facing lethal next turn. Yeah, this was exactly what we needed. Next turn we will draw 7 fresh cards plus have a Phoenix, and sooner or later we will find a Naturalize for this situation. Okay, that's fine. Not scared by that. It does not die to the Phoenix, but the Mother of Wounds will die to that. Okay, I don't think he has any out for that situation. If we don't draw anything in 7 draws, we might have a problem, but okay, Undiscovered Paradise to hand, Oath of Druids trigger. Yeah, this just takes it some clicks and time to resolve, but yeah, I think I should yield to ports for now. Because we need to catch up 1 minute. Might be safer for now. Okay, first land is Undiscovered Paradise. Draw 2. Island. Draw 2. Island. Draw 2. Gaea's Blessing. Try to find exactly Naturalize here. No Naturalize, but a Swords to Plowshares, which is fine. I think I want to dig deeper for Naturalize, because this is the card that will win on the spot. Okay, no Naturalize. We could play another Gush, which could be a bit greedy, but I try to go for that. Maybe not. I just want to sacrifice this. Next turn we can drop 3 again. I think I want to reshuffle the Phoenix to have a hit next turn. And the Impulse. We have 1 draw. Okay, Time Warp. We can't play this yet. But I want to attack with the Chosen. That's a lot of damage we are facing, but I hope next turn we will be okay. So here, Flooded Strand, Forest, a Forest, Island, Island, Oath of Druids. Probably Counterspell. I really try to speed it up the game there. Okay, here I want to cast a sword on one whipcorder, I guess. He's shipping in for 9, which is a lot, but we have two counterspells up. Okay, we are really behind on clock, so it will be a problem to close the game. And he's at 17, which is a lot. Yeah, we lost a bit of time while we were lagging. This is fine. Don't want to counter that. It's not about winning. You need to win on time, even if you are a game ahead. Silver Knight, you can have it. The problem is maybe we should have countered it, because we need swords right now. Otherwise, we can't get rid of this. It was a bit stupid. I needed to sort this. But due to the time, I make some play errors, which are pretty huge. Okay. Any order here. Okay. Okay, what do we want to do here? We're on the first main. First, I want to attack with a chosen. He's thinking about blocking here, which would be great for us. Okay, drop an island. Draw 2 cards. Drop a forest. Draw 2 cards. Undiscovered Paradise. Okay, swords is here. That's nice. So, sword on that. Play Time Warp on us. Ships a turn. Yeah, it's too many triggers here. We can't win on time, sadly. But I will try to. Why is it lagging so much? Yeah, the legs are too brutal. Okay, let's start the chain again. Island. Draw 2. Island. Sword is great. So, Undiscovered Paradise. Another Oath. Exploration. Forest. Another sword. Okay, more and more swords. So here I want to exile this. Exile that. Then we are still searching for Naturalize, so play the Impulse. Here it is. So we are going to attack for 6. We do need an answer for supports. Okay, make damage here. Sacrifice Shard Phoenix. Play Naturalize on the Honor of the Pure. Okay, 2 blessings in hand means we need to do reshuffle here. Blessing on 2 swords. Done. Yeah, it's lagging too much. I can't even resolve the spell for now. Don't know what's going on here. And we need to... Do we need to reshuffle? I don't think so. Just want to chip the turn here. Pitching this and the Flooded Strand. Yeah, we are really in trouble due to time. Okay, this is strong. We don't have an answer for that right now. Okay. But as he has a plan for the City of Brass, we are done, I guess. Yeah. I don't know how bad it would be without the legs, but I think we still would be behind. So I don't want to blame it on that. It's just a trigger intense deck. And you see it like how the seconds are jumping here, how much time we lose. I think I can't say yes to that now. Maybe I said yes at this point, but I don't have a second blessing in the graveyard. But we have lost the game due to time anyway. Ah, okay, no on this. Draw some cards. Draw some more cards. Okay, let's have some fun here. Even if we can't win anymore, we can just do our best to play the deck correctly. And this means I want to play another Impulse. We need to take some extra turns here. Gush should be fine. Swords to Plowshares is fine. So let's play Gush here. Odd draws. Horn of Greed is great. It gets the chain going. So Horn of Greed. Still have 2 land drops. So some cards to draw. Let's play this. Play that. Another exploration is fine. Here's a time warp. So play exploration. Drop a forest. Draw some cards. Cast Swords to Plowshares on the Solitary Priest. Cast Time Warp. And now we can go infinite. Yeah, maybe it's not a deck for Magic Online, I guess. It's probably pretty lame to watch and it's pretty hard to get it done in time. Yeah, attack with this. He just has the ability to port once. And now we can make an infinite loop with time walks. Just want to show you how it works. Okay, we need to discard 9 cards in a second. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't need any of that. Okay. In upkeep, he will tap the city, which is fine for me. We are on 1 point of life. Okay, now we want to cast Gaea's Blessing on us, targeting Time Warp and Gaea's Blessing. Okay, we need to draw 3 cards. The island here. Okay, you see how this would work out. I think in paper you can play it much faster. Okay, last land. And now we go like Time Warp. Get an extra turn. Reshuffle Time Warp. And now you have to make sure that you are reshuffling 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then you go infinite like this. I mean, at this point you can even drop another land. We have just 2 cards in hand. Okay, I mistapped there, so we are died to the Horn of Greed now. Yeah, a lot of misplays, but it was pretty laggy and pretty hard to play. So not a great success here, but maybe in the next game. All right, game number 3. We need to play a bit quicker here. And I hope I got no legs today. The hand is decent. Because we got a 2-1 exploration. Combined with some lands and a Gush. So important we need to see the game log for a second. Shuffle. Okay, let's get down the Windswept Heath. That means we do not have white mana soon, because we need double blue for Counterspell and Flooded Strand. And I want to drop the Flooded Strand first, because for some cases we need to keep foil up. Okay. Again, seems like a bad matchup for a card like Oath of Druids. Could be Stasis, but Stasis normally does not run Portent. Maybe it's Gro-A-Tog. In that case, Oath of Druids would be decent. Okay, the most dangerous thing that could happen is him having a Stifle for our Flooded Strand. So it would be great to find a... Okay, I think I want to drop the Oath, the first Oath here. Or maybe I play Gaea's Blessing on Windswept Heath, hope to find another land. Okay, that's fine. So now we absolutely have the ability to play Gush, but I still don't want to use it right now. I want to have the ability to play around Stifle a bit longer. Could be... I'm not sure here. Disenchant? Ice. Okay, I try to fetch here. This resolves. And then I think I want to play Gush anyway. And if we play Gush here, it will fizzle his card draw. Plus we have the ability to counter or... Okay, nice thing is that we have the foil up, which is a bit mana intense. We need to discard one card, but this should be fine. I just want to discard the forest here. If anything got really, really bad, we have the ability to play foil. And next turn we could drop Oath of Druids with Counterspell back up, but I'm not sure here. But the Fire Ice plus this combination, I think it's a pretty awkward sequence of a Gro-A-Tog deck. And here another island is fine. I want to bring this down. Probably the Undiscovered Paradise to have the ability to slam second Oath or Counterspell. This is fine. I don't want to run into a daze, and I don't need to right now. If he slams a Meddling Mage, I think I need to counter that. Even if we run into a daze, I might think about playing foil. But for the... Okay, Gush here, it's fine. Not want to fight around this. Okay, the Meddling Mage arrives, so here I really want to counter. Okay, another Counterspell. I think it's time to foil here. Because if he lands this and names Oath of Druids and we do not draw any swords to Plowshares, we are in big trouble. Okay, this means he has no days. Maybe he has a Mox Diamond plus second Meddling Mage or something like this. He could easily have a card. I want to slam the Undiscovered Paradise for the corner case. He has exactly double days, which shouldn't happen because he would have countered in this spot. He might have a foil. Okay, another Gush. This is decent, but it's setting him back by a ton. But if he has a foil, it's decent now, because he is left with 5 cards in hand versus 1 an hour. Okay, having this around is great. I'm not sure if Gro-A-Tog runs removal for that in the main deck, but I think there should be some amount of disenchants, but he needs to spend a whole turn for that. So in comparison with other decks like this, we are running out of gas without the Horn of Greed a lot of time. So that's an issue. Okay, I want to bounce the Undiscovered Paradise. So if we draw a Horn of Greed, we have some replays and our legs start to kick in again. Maybe I need to delete some video coverage I've already uploaded to YouTube. Okay, Horn of Greed. Thing is, I need to drop a forest before. Yeah, huge legs here. I'm not sure what I can do about this. So this land drop took me 3 seconds to 5 seconds. If he doesn't have foil, we could get in a decent place, because he needs to handle the Oath of Druids and the Horn of Greed. I think... Okay, I can't drop the Flooded Strand now. This will take my decision, because otherwise I need to think about if I want to play it into a potential Armageddon. Horn of Greed is giving him advantage too, but if we untap again with it, we draw at least 2 cards a turn. Maybe you have advice what we can do if Magic Online is lagging. I closed everything in the background besides the streaming software, which is necessary to capture the video. Okay, a Disenchant here probably. Winter Orb, okay. That's fine for me. I think it will set him back more than me. We will bounce the Undiscovered Paradise again. Untap the island. Okay. Undiscovered Paradise first. Swords to Plowshares is great, so Flooded Strand will be my second draw. There's an argument for not pressing Yield on the Horn of Greed, because then you can go and put the trigger on stack and fetch in response to the draw. Okay. He needs to handle the Oath of Druids first, which is great for us. Okay, in the end step, I would like to bounce this again, and I would like to fetch that away for... I think Plains is fine here. Untap Forest. Bounce Paradise. Time Warp is decent, but we can just untap one land. So it could backfire pretty badly. Okay. Maybe the Winter Orb is a call that he's not on a build like Armageddon, but I think they run this in addition. And we really need to stay ahead on the clock. Because if we start our combo, we are pretty trigger intense. I think he's in a really bad spot. Combination of 2 Mox Diamond with Armageddon plus... yeah, no. Because Horn of Greed is giving us more card advantage than him. And he needs to handle Oath of Druids before he can start deploying creatures. And if he deploys creatures, we have Swords to Plowshares if it's not Meddling Mage. I don't know if we will see a sideboard game here, because he's really running out of time here. Okay, again in the end step, float white. He needs to discard while we are advancing our board. Untap Forest. Okay, there might be a case where I want to hardcast this, but I think not yet. Okay, Gush is great. But I want to ship the turn here first, because I don't want to discard, and we made our land drops. Really want to find a Naturalize here to get rid of the Winter Orb and to unlock our full potential. Okay, we will see a Psychotok here. That would be great for us, because we would have a Oath of Druids trigger. Okay, Psychotok is fine. We have 3 swords where we could cast 2 of. I'm not sure, maybe I start to fight here, cause flipping the angel is not great. Flipping the phoenix is not great. It would be great to have 1 reshuffle. Would have been a bit... no, I'm fine with that. Okay, foil is fine for me. I want to cast another Swords to Plowshares here. I could take 1 trigger here, but then he could trigger Oath, so let's see if he will counter again. Okay, no counter. So let's go on our turn. Undiscovered Paradise. Oh, second Horn of Greed. It's a must counter threat, I guess. Can't counter that. Okay, Shard Phoenix is here, so we will There's an argument, but I think I can do it next turn. So spare a lot cards to discard the Chosen and the Phoenix. But maybe I will... I think I want to cast the Phoenix and start the beatdown. Okay, don't want to counter cantrips. I think playing Gush in response to the Fire Eyes was a great spot. But we need to get rid of the Winter Orb to unlock our full potential. So here's a small argument to not... Okay, another Psychic Talk. There is the argument to... yeah, this is fine again. In my upkeep, I want to activate Oath of Druids to have a reshuffle. Do I want to bounce Paradise? I don't think so, because we have the Gush. Untap planes. So we have no third creature, but we can reshuffle our whole deck, our whole graveyard into the deck. Which is very nice at this point. Okay, second exploration is great. First land drop. Exploration. Keep priority here. I hope they don't resolve immediately. Okay, they resolve immediately. Fetch that away. And then third land drop is an island. Okay. I need to go for the Swords to Plowshares here. Yes. Okay, this went well. But if my opponent had 2 or 3 different cards in some spot, we would be in a pretty bad position. So Oath of Druids is great. There's an argument for Akroma. Disenchant should work. Not a huge fan of Time Warp, but it's a part of our combo. Do we need Akroma? I don't think so. Opt is not a good thing to do. Meddling Mages. I think he will bring in Swords to Plowshares, so there's an argument. I think I just want to run this as my 61st card. Because I don't know what to cut here. That's a decent hand. We have a lot of must-answer threats. Turn 1 exploration from top would be great. But we might lose to turn 1 Mox Diamond. Meddling Mage naming exactly sorts the Plowshares. Okay, here I want to play Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Important. Targeting himself. Pretty deep in this think tank. He still could have a follow-up Mox Diamond plus Threat. We need to decide if we want to play Oath of Druids into a potential Daze or Annul, but I think it's necessary to do. Okay, no shuffle. Gaea's Blessing. I think it might be best to fetch blue here. It's not... Oh, I'm not sure. Do I want to run this Oath into a Daze? I think I want to. Because we have double Horn of Greed in our hand. So now he needs to handle the Oath first before he can deploy any creature. So the good thing with the Shard Phoenix is he can never get rid of it without graveyard interaction. He just need to... So if he plays swords, we can sacrifice in response. I think the deck could need some treetop villages as a plan B to chip in damage. Okay, here's exactly no need to cast a Horn of Greed into a Counterspell or Daze. Or? No, I don't want to do this. I want to drop the City of Brass. And play a Blessing. I don't want to shuffle anything, just want to draw a card. Full is decent. Okay, just the eyes. This is fine for me. If he would have a Disenchant for the Oath of Druids, I was thinking about playing foil there. Because we could pay for days. Okay, here I'm willing to expose the first two Counterspell, and for me it does not matter if it stays or something different. If this resolves, we get immediately card advantage. So I want to drop planes here. And if he decides to handle this now, he won't get a draw from that in his turn, because it's just if you play a land, not from fetching. Gush into Armageddon. but this would not be the end of the world. I even would think about... Okay, no Armageddon here. Yeah, if you don't have the green right and you're just paying your mana for cantrips, which will find other cantrip, it's not impressive. But on other games, it's really impressive to see a huge Dryad. Mox Diamond is decent. It would be really impressive to see him winning 2 games in 9 minutes left. But the problem is, if you play against a deck like mine, you need to make really good decisions against the Oath of Druids. But yeah, it could be tough. I think he's deciding on playing playing Armageddon. I would think a second if I want to foil that, but I'm not sure. Just if he has another Gush. Okay, Disenchant on Oath of Druids is enough for me to play foil. And I want to discard the island and a Horn of Greed. Yes, hopefully we draw another island to have the ability to bounce with Gush. Exploration has some nice plays. Okay, I think I need to play Impulse and hope to find an island. Okay, Counterspell is fine. I think there is no need to drop the exploration and expose myself to a daze. We could brick if he has an Armageddon and we don't redraw land soon. But yeah, that could happen. But even then he needs to handle Oath of Druids. And it would be pretty mana intense for him to play foil on one counterspell. Okay, land drop here possibly means no Armageddon. Okay, in the end step, I want to activate this to have mana, to have land drop again. Another counterspell is fine. Okay, forest is fine. Let me try to have my exploration. We still can't cast Gush for its alternative coast. Okay, another Horn of Greed might work. I might just hardcast Gush in the end step. Okay, he's setting up Armageddon probably. This could be a disaster for us. But he needs a threat after Armageddon. Yeah, Horn of Greed can backfire a bit because the opponent is playing Gush on his own. But in combination with exploration is decent. Okay, Ray of Revelation. I think this is fine for me now. We can't prevent this. Okay, Meddling Mage is enough for me to counter, because it's a huge threat. If it names swords, we are pretty done. Okay. Really want to resolve the second Horn of Greed. Exploration will be gone due to the flashback of the Ray of Revelation if we don't counter it. He needs to discard 2 cards. So I hope to pull ahead in the game now. And we still need an island. Yeah, discarding 2 Korean rights. Okay, island is great. Let's go for Horn of Greed here. Draw 4 cards from our lands. I think I might fight for my exploration if he tried to go for it. Okay, Meddling Mage. Probably naming... I don't know. I try to counter this here. Okay, he has a counterspell on his own, so I want to play Gush here. Okay. Don't know what he will name here. Could name Swords to Plowshares or Oath of Druids, but he has the Oath covered with the flashback Ray of Revelation. Yeah, Shard Phoenix could be a decent draw. Okay, in the end step, do I want to bounce Paradise here? I think, because it's decent to have Impulse. If he has a Daze, he might counter this. Okay, Disenchant is fine. And having another Gush is great. We might drop the Chosen soon. Okay, another Gush. So let me drop the island first. Another Disenchant. Play island. Okay, another Oath is great. So let's go for Mox Diamond here. Then I want to resolve the Oath. So he needs to find green for the Ray of Revelation now. And I think I want to cast Gaea's Blessing here. Because we need to reshuffle Blessing. It's a bit dangerous if he has a Daze now and he counters our second Blessing. But he yielded so much, yeah. No counterspell there. We need to discard 4 cards. 1 Disenchant, maybe not. Can I stop this? Or is it in discard now? I don't know. I can't stop it, I guess. So Disenchant, Forest, 1 Gush, 1 Swords to Plowshares. That's wild that you can't redecide if you clicked on one of the 4 discard cards. Okay, he needs to have exactly green source, which he has here for Ray of Revelation, targeting Oath, plus Armageddon to get back in the game, but then we can quickly rebuild with Exploration and Horn of Greed. This is fine for me. We do have the ability to find answers for that with the help of Horn of Greed. Okay, another one is strong. Not going to lie. He will probably name Oath of Druids with that. And we lose, but he will have trouble finishing the third game in 4 minutes. But still, everything can happen. Phoenix would be a great draw. Okay, let's drop Island first. Draw 2 cards. Exploration is decent. Play Forest. Time Warp is great. Play Island. I think I want to go for Time Warp because the impact is so high if this will be resolved. And if he counters this, I want to dig for Anther, because having another turn now is the route to victory, possibly. Okay, Counterspell, Gush. Hopefully we draw foil or own Counterspell. Okay, Akroma is live pretty soon. I think he has foil or double days. Okay, Gush, setting him back by a lot. If he has a counterspell for that now, plus Armageddon, we probably lose. Okay, extra turn is fine. Let's go to discard. And of course he has no counterspell there. I'm pretty sure that we will resolve our chosen now, which will grant us a lot of life. Okay, let's play Island. Another exploration. I really want to do this. Play Island. Horn of Greed could be too greedy, so let's go with the Undiscovered Paradise here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably win with that. Yes. Okay, and we go to discard immediately. We could drop another land, I guess, or don't know. So he could have a sword for this, but he won't get us down in time. Plus we will land Akroma next turn if he doesn't have counter magic for that. And he can't play swords. I see. And he can't even block it. I mean, Psychotalk could still be dangerous. But if we resolve Akroma, so he can't have Psychotalk plus Armageddon. Winter Orb would be fine-ish, but I would try to naturalize this. And the great thing is we can attack with the chosen and he can't even double block without losing it. Okay, Portent on his own library. Shuffle. Okay, in the end step, I'm willing to play into days just to use my mana better. Okay, this is gone. He's facing the same problem like us yesterday. In game 2. Okay, foil is decent. I just have 13 cards left in library and I don't have a island in hand, so I need to drop some lands here first. Counterspell is great. Oath is not playable. Okay, we can drop 4 lands a turn. I can't go too greedy, I guess. Maybe it's too greedy to play Akroma. But I want to go greedy because we are ahead in the clock so much. Okay, Blessing is fine. Do I want to go for Akroma here or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I think I want to play it a bit more calm and just play the Blessing here on Time Warp and Gaea's Blessing and maybe the island. Okay, we got the island here, so there's a possibility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I absolutely want to slam Akroma. Just because it's so epic to win with Akroma. Okay, I dropped the Flooded Strand before. Maybe should be better if we play Time Warp, I guess. But we go for Akroma now. Time Warp is good next turn. Plus the upside of having Akroma here is so huge. Yeah, I guess she's bringing it home. Okay, I got a Counterspell for that. We attack for 10 here. And we just need to look not to draw too much lands next turn, otherwise we die. He might block here if he has double sword, but no. Okay, discard Horn of Greed, Oath of Druids, Impulse. Yeah, just hard casting here. It gets the job done. Yeah, GG. He can't win from this point, and due to timing issues. Psychotalk is fine-ish here, but we have a blocker for that. Yeah, what a game. 45 minutes. Alright, match against our friend Jörg. Let's see what he's playing. That's not keepable. We need to take a mulligan here. He might be on Madness again. Or a deck like F's. I want to keep this and ship a Gaea's Blessing. If we draw green mana, that's decent. But I want to lead with Flooded Strand, just in case if we need to counter something with foil. And it's cool that we have the ability to draw some cards with Gush here. Let me land this. Next turn I might think about playing Gush, floating mana, and then bring down Oath of Druids if I draw green. Okay, Survivor of the Fittest. Strong card. but it's fine for now. Okay, City of Brass, it's scarce. So here I want to play the city. We just have to counter the Nantuko Vigilante, I guess. So this could be a very bad Elves draw or a very bad survival draw. Would be worse Elves draw than a survival draw. I'm not sure how many cards he kept, but maybe it's a grindy game now. We do have the ability to fetch for island, return 2 islands with Gush, and then play foil if something really bad happens. And otherwise, next turn I will land Horn of Greed, returns 2 islands with Gush. Okay, he's on survival. So the Horn of Greed plan is not great. But if we get the Horn of Greed down, we should be in a great position. So I think I even want to fight for the Horn of Greed with the foil. So let's get Horn of Greed down. Okay, days. I'm willing to, so I try to cast Gush. And I want to foil the days with discarding Island and Shard Phoenix. He might have another days, that would be fine for me. Okay, this is great. I think I want to drop the island first. If we find an exploration soon, we are in a great position. Another Horn of Greed. Okay, this takes some time until we drop this. And he can... Okay, Root Waller action. I'm not sure if he has an out to a resolved Oath of Druids. But we will see. I think he misclicked here. No, probably not. We just want to make a value. You don't have to cast it, and he does not want to have a both trigger. So very nice play here. It could be hard to keep up with the card advantage from the multiple squeeze each turn. So sooner or later he might have a huge attack killing us in one turn, but okay, I think I will play the Horn of Greed next turn. Because he has the card advantage anyway, and mana might be a bottleneck on his side. Okay, Swords to Plowshares is decent. Let me drop the Undiscovered Paradise first, see what we draw. Do I want to run the Horn of Greed? I don't think so. Because if we play this, he can immediately draw 2 cards from that. Discarding Wonder for second squeeze. Okay, sooner or later he need to deploy some creatures to the board. We really need to look at the time here. So there's a small argument for us bouncing Undiscovered Paradise if we draw exactly Exploration, but I'm not sure. Okay, we can yield to this. Wasteland probably goes for the Undiscovered Paradise. I want to float blue here. That's a great draw. Okay, he needs to discard. Drop Island. Gaea's Blessing is fine. Do I want to drop Horn of Greed? I don't think there is a need for that. Yeah, finding Wasteland there was strong. Frantic Search. That's fine. Okay, so you might have an answer for the... Or just search Gilded Drake then, so we need to keep a sword up. White Mongrel, okay. Just try to raise us. I think here I'm willing to play one Swords to Plowshares for the worm. And this should be something he needs to counter if he wants to do a damage raise. Okay, this is fine. White Mongrel. So it would be great if we hit a land now. But first we got a Ancestors Chosen. Ah, I misclicked. So reshuffle first here. You need to put the blessing on the bottom, but that's not a huge problem here. We are missing some amount of life, but due to the fact he does not have Swords to Plowshares, we should be fine. Okay, land drop here. Really want to keep the... Okay, so here he might go for the Gilded Rake, and then we need to counter Gilded Rake in response. And if he attacks... So the problem is everything is flying. Yeah, we probably lose because we did not have the trigger there. But I was answering, we are facing some lags here, and due to the time I misclicked. It's okay. It happens. Would never happen in real life, so just watch what you're clicking. So the mongrel is close to lethal. Okay, no blocks. Okay, Waterfront Bouncer might be... Don't know. Don't want to counter this right now. So if he plays... he has no need to play the worm now. Okay, let's go to end step. Fetch for planes. Play a sword here. So if we search exactly for Arrogant Worm to cast it now, we should be in a fine position. Okay. One Rootwaller could stay alive here. Yeah, the stacking was game breaking here. Otherwise, I think we would be in a great position. But yeah, sometimes it happens. Okay, let me drop the forest first. Then I want to naturalize the survival to force him into action. Okay, no action there. So here I want to attack with my chosen, because all his creatures have flying, so this won't make a difference. Okay, what happens if he bounces next turn and then he pumped the team? This would kill us. So I think I have to sacrifice it now. And if he wants to keep 2 around, that's fine. Ah, they were flying, man. I'm a bit stupid today. This shouldn't happen. Shard Phoenix only deals damage to non-flying creatures. But then we would have been dead anyway, because we could not handle the Wonder in the graveyard. Okay, with this information, I think even with the chosen trigger, we would have lost, because we have no ability to remove the flying from his creatures. So we bring in some graveyard removal for that case. I do want Ray of Revelation. Maybe Disenchant, not sure about it. Akroma It's not great, but I want to trim some opt and some impulse. Yeah, the Wanda is a great answer for Phoenix. So I don't know how many. I think the chosen would have made about around 20 life. I will look it up later, but that wouldn't. So the flying was a problem there, even with the. Yeah, we didn't have an answer for the waterfront bouncer, and due to the fact we were so low on hand cards, there could have been the spot that you just bounce our creatures and we can't replay them, and so it was two huge errors while playing, but I don't think they made any difference. Plus he could just tutor it for Gilded Drake. Okay, that's a great starting hand, I guess. Akroma is a bit awkward, but we might discard it with a Gush later. Okay, we start with the Phyrexian Furnace. Bit awkward that we didn't have a second blue now, but we might draw later. Second island would be best. Would be great if he... Okay, this means he could have Annul, but Annul is live the whole game. So I think I want to play the Oath of Druids turn later. Okay, no second land here. Means for me is relying pretty heavily on Annul, so we can wait a bit longer. Okay, White Mongrel. So our play will be to cast Oath of Druids around Annul. Okay, another island is fine. Let me drop this and the Oath. He might have a Naturalize. Then I would play Gush in response, trying to find an answer for that. Survival. That's fine for me. So we do get one trigger from the Oath. Sadly, the Akroma's in our hand. And now we need to stack it correctly if we hit the... Okay, Shard Phoenix here is not great. Sword is fine. I'm not sure if I want to go directly for the Mongrel. I don't think there is a need now. So ships a turn. Having Phyrexian Furnace here is great, but we really need to take a look at the time. Okay. End step. Yeah, I will keep my sword for a second. Counterspell is fine. I want to drop the Flooded Strand, because if we draw Horn of Greed, we could just return some with Gush. So maybe if he discards one now, we can answer that. And at this point, I even might... I mean, there is an argument for playing Gush to put Akroma into graveyard end of turn, but... Okay, we get a squee here, which is great. Okay, tries the damage raise again. So here I want to sacrifice the Phoenix to see if he wants to pump it. If he does, we can just redraw another creature with the Oath of Druids. Maybe he's fine with that. Exchange. We could find Wonder and then discard it to White Mongrel, but I just want another Oath trigger because Shard Phoenix is not great in this spot. That's fine for me. Exactly what I wanted. The days plus Wasteland. Getting rid there of pretty dead cards. I want to fetch in the end step, but I don't want to hardcast Gush. Or do I? I don't think so. Okay, here I will flip the Chosen. Okay, I triggered abilities, so place the Blessings first. Okay, any order first, and then Blessing on bottom, Blessing on bottom. Get a lot of life here. Okay, exploration is sweet. Gets the exploration down. So we can replay both islands we bounce with Gush. Another exploration is fine. I think I will keep the land around, because if we draw exactly Horn of Greed, we really want to get that chain running. Okay, Wonder and Graveyard. I think he plays more than one Wonder, so I just want to eat the graveyard slowly. I think we have time due to our life points and the Oath of Druids. If he has a Gilded Rake, we go to Sword it in response with the trigger, so we don't get our creature. This will be a long way till we reach Wonder. Okay, Gilded Drake. Okay, this one. I think we are pretty safe here. Thoughts on that? We do have a... Okay, we need to counter his Counterspell, because this is a triggered ability here. And I don't know... Okay, this is enough. So game 3 here. I think on the draw I want some amount of Annul. Probably more than exploration, because finding green is pretty awkward. Turn 1, I don't know if Impulse is great, so I could see some more Disenchant effects here, but we should be fine with that. And now is a pretty awkward redraw. Okay, this is fine, because we have a double answer for survival. I want to get the island down, because I don't want to expose my Undiscovered Paradise to Wasteland now. This is fine for me. Okay, Forest is great. So play Undiscovered Paradise probably. I don't want to run into days. But that could be awkward later. Maybe just the island and say go here to bluff a Counterspell. And if his play is exactly... Okay. If he uses mana and... Okay, pump here means he could just have Annul. Okay, exploration is fine. Let's see if he wants to play Annul on that. No need for that. So here's the question, do I want to keep Sword up? Or do I want to play Oath of Druids into Annul? I think I want to keep Swords to Plowshares up. And if he has a Wasteland for that, we go for the Mongrel and follow up with Oath of Druids. Okay, pump means for me I still want to go for the White Mongrel. Let's see if he counters that. Okay, we want to land the island first. And then try to land the Horn of Greed. This should be enough for him to counter. But this is a 2-turn clock, maybe he can just let it resolve. Play Undiscovered Paradise to draw a card. Okay, Swords is great. Really hope to bind 2 mana of him and yeah, it's cool how quick the deck can chip damage in. Horn of Greed on that. I think now it's time for me to just play the sword here. Or not. No sword for me. Can I undo? No, not yet. So I have to sword now. Was not great. Because now you can just chip 2 damage in, add 3 damage in, and okay, White Mongrel. Counterspell would be great. And now I'm not sure if I want to play the Time Warp into... Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can do 8 damage, at least. But I think we have to try this. Play the Oath. Ship the turn back. Yeah, it was bad that I couldn't undo or that I let the Naturalize resolve. Otherwise, we would have been in a better position with Swords to Plowshares in response. Probably has another Naturalize. Okay, no Naturalize here. Stifle. Okay, Shard Phoenix is bad. At least we can block and... Okay, we drop the island here. And the Time Warp. Okay, just a Counterspell. I think we can live for 1 more turn here. Even if he draws Wonder or has Wonder in hand. We got the Annul for potential survival. So the problem is if we flip Akroma next turn, this won't be enough. He might even be fine with us wiping the board, because he could then flash in a Arrogant Worm later. Yeah, tough spot. We got a 50-50 chance of flipping Akroma or the chosen. And Akroma is super dangerous against Gilded Drake, but he needs to have it. Okay, here I just want to block and see if he discards something. Okay, Rootwaller Pump. So if I sacrifice now, I get the Rootwaller, which is great. If he discards Wonder, that would be brutal. But might happen, yeah, exactly what I told. But this wouldn't change anything. So even if we kept the block here and did not sacrifice in response, would have been exactly the same. He could have, so because discarding is part of the cost, we could not interact with that. So we go to exactly 1. I think I have to bounce the Paradise for more flexibility. Okay. You really need to flip the right thing here. Okay, 50-50. It's the right thing, okay? Let's do any order here. Now click Blessing first, so it would resolve last. Not the same thing at game 1. Go to 32. Reshuffle is great. Okay. Here's flying, which is problematic, but I want to drop the Paradise here. It's great that we have another Oath activation soon, or Oath trigger. And hopefully we find Akroma there. And it's great that we have a lot of answers for potential card like. So Gilded Drake would still be great. Hopefully he has a survival of the fittest. If he has survival, this would be great for us. Gilded Drake or Waterfront Bouncer would be a great advantage for him. So very intense game. This is a 6-turn clock, so a bit slowish. Gush would be a great draw, or Horn of Greed. I'm not even sure if I want to flip Akroma over Shard Phoenix. Okay, Gilded Drake, yeah, that's strong. I mean, it's a flyer. And now we are not in the danger of flipping Akroma. think it would have been better if I flipped the Paradise. Okay, Akroma here is great. Hopefully he's just on one Drake. Want to keep both of these. So no, I attack with Akroma. This will really change the clock. But if he draws something like Waterfront Bouncer, we are pretty done. Okay, study to get deeper for Waterfront Bouncer. Then he can just bounce his Gilded Rake to exchange with Akroma. So maybe this would have been an argument for attacking with Gilded Drake. But if he attacks, he can't attack here. Okay. Give me the next trigger, please. Another Oath. I think I want to land it. If I attack with that, and he blocks with everything, we get our Chosen back in graveyard. Yeah, I think it's time to attack with everything. And if he kills his own Drake, I don't think he has the ability to play a card like Genesis in this matchup. Something like Tormod's Crypt would be nice. Yeah, this is sweet for us. Okay, here I want to play Oath of Druids. Because now we can have 2 triggers next turn. If we get rid of the Chosen here. Okay, careful study again. So, do I need to make a reshuffle now? I don't think so. Okay, and step. I will make one reshuffle, I guess. Yes. Because we milled some swords and these are great draws. But we say no on the second Oath trigger. No need to reshuffle again. Okay, Disenchant, not great, to be honest. Attack with Angel. Go. We have Trample. And he didn't pump, so we will probably see... No? I'm just keeping the lands around for Horn of Greed. Okay, survival. I need to play Annul here immediately. And if he has a counterspell for that, I can play Ray of Revelation before he can activate. If he does not have directly land. So... Yeah, close game. Great match, Jörg. Alright, we got a decent hand here with an almost guaranteed turn to Oath of Druids if we want. Ah, famous last words. I could counter this, but yeah, no, it's not guaranteed, but I mean, if he is not on discard, we could protect the turn 2 with our foil. But we have a decent amount of cards here. One of Greed might be great. Could be a bit awkward due to the fact we don't have second blue. Yeah, going for the Oath. Second Oath from top. I want to play Forest here. And if he has another discard spell, I might foil, because if he's on mono black, Oath could be a really great card. Okay, probably black-white control again. Chip the turn. Okay, exploration is not great yet. Could be great later with Horn of Greed. I want to get this and then get the O-Stone, but if he's in black-white control, he probably would have taken another card. So we might see a Vindicate here on Oath of Druids or Disenchant. Okay, I want to play foil here. Discarding. I have to discard Island plus Counterspell. Maybe a bit too greedy on my spot, but I'm not sure. I want to get the... Do I want to get the Horn of Greed into play? I think not yet. Because if he drops land and gets immediate value of that, we might be in trouble. Now we expose it to another discard spell or Gerard's Verdict, but it's better than just play it and then lose. So if he has some lands and we don't, we lose like this. Now getting a sequence of 2 lands would be great. Gush completely nice here, but could be great later. Skeletal Scrying for 2. Yeah, this is black-white control probably, or newer build of that guy Ale. So on this matchup, we really need to take a look at the clock. It's great to have the Oath around, because he can't just slam an Angel or make Decree in the end step. Gerard's Verdict here is fine for me. Vindicate on Oath. Okay, strong draws. Now we got nothing. Yeah, but it was still right to not drop the Horn of Greed. I mean, he had the perfect draw there with Gerard's Verdict and Vindicate, and it's okay to lose against perfect draws. Sorted Angel here. That's a problem. Yeah, this was perfect draws whole game. Very impressive, but yeah, sometimes the deck does it. Want to keep this, so if we draw one of greed, we still could find an out to the situation here, but it's a fast clock. But it's okay, you lose against perfect draws of decks. Even if you have a good matchup, I don't know, I don't think this is a particular good matchup, but you get what I mean. Yeah, thick. Very, very brutal draw. Impressive showing of the deck. So due to the dead draws that chosen here, we have lost. Of course, even if we get a Oath now and double and Gerard's very man, for a long, very, very long time I've never seen such a draw from a deck. That's like, I guess, 1 in 1,000. So impressive showing. I think there was exactly 0 decks which could beat that. Furnace is fine. I think it's a Meddling Mage matchup, but they are not great against opposing Lightning Exalted Angels. This were crazy draws. But that's the reason I'm doing this coverage here. Yeah, but this should be in general a pretty bad matchup due to the many 2 or 3 for ones. And he just he has no need to commit a creature on the board until he has the control of the game. Okay, awkward hand, but I try to keep this. Hoping to get at least 1 Horn of Greed down. It's basically a mulligan to 5 if we don't draw land, because Shard Phoenix is a dead card in hand. But against a deck with this amount of discard, I'm not in the mood of taking mulligans. Yeah, Duress probably on Impulse. Maybe on Horn of Greed. Yeah, now we could break here. It's kind of breaking. Yeah, let me draw this. Could be fine-ish if we draw another land next turn and then another land. But he might have a Disenchant at that point or Gerard's Verdict. Okay, we can win if we draw exactly land here. The Undiscovered Paradise would be best. Okay, another Horn of Greed. I want to drop the first one to have the same chance next turn again. Because if he has a discard spell, we have this in play and we have the ability, or if he has an answer for that, we can replay it. But after this draws, he has probably an answer plus a discard spell. Like Duress Disenchant. Here's the Disenchant. Yeah, we need to try again with Horn of Greed. Man, what a bad showing of my deck. He's drawing the cards from Horn of Greed while we were bricking. And he probably has another answer for that, because the draws are grounding him more. If this will be destroyed with a Vindicate, I will concede, and now I need land. Otherwise we are done. I mean, there were some windows where we could have a great explosive turn with explorations and 2 Horn of Greeds, but not a single one showing. But with a perfect lineup again, it's hard. And we don't even have Akroma. So we are going to, if this triggers, we are going to flip a Chosen, which will grant us 15 life, and then he has perfect blocker for that. Okay, sorting his own creature. Man, give me just land, please. It's so awkward. He've drawn 3 cards from the Horn of Greeds, but I needed to land them. Probably going to rebuy the Eternal Dragon here. It's okay that we got a counterspell, but man, we need something now. Hopefully a Gush, but this is not working out well for us. Counterspell on that, just if he has another removal and he wants to go for the O's, it's fine for me, because I am heavily relying on the Horn of Greed plan. Unbelievable. Like 1 land in 7 draws. Eight draws. So the good thing is, I think he has... man, what's about the lag here? I don't know what's going on. I floated 2 blue. Got a 15 seconds lag here. Yeah, now Vindicate on Oath of Druids or Skeletal Scrying, Haunting Echoes. Yeah, that's fine by me. Not the end of the world, to be honest. So we got one Shard Phoenix. So if you have the answer for the chosen, we are basically dead, because we have no plan B. Okay, land. Into brick. It's so annoying. Yeah, sorry for being too salty here, but sometimes if it's just against every possibility and you're trying everything, but it's magic. Like sometimes the corner cases, which will come in with 0.01%, will come in the game you're playing right now. I will just be quieter for now. Don't want to be too salty here. Probably going to make 2 angels. So the question is, do I want to flip this versus a potential sword? I think I have to do it. It's bad that the Phoenix is gone, so this will be our last creature here. We need to put Blessing on the bottom. This was a bad one, just granting some life. If he has the Swords to Plowshares here, we are in big trouble. What kind of draws are these? This is fine. Okay, Swords to Plowshares is fine. Yeah, that's a problem. So every land we were missing in the earlier turns comes now from the top of our library. And we don't have a second. So we really need to start looping removal spells for all of his creatures, because we don't have more creatures left. Okay, do I want to take one hit here? Nope. Don't want to do this. And now even a Cycle Decree would be enough for us to lose. The problem is that we don't get rid of our own chosen. Yeah, Vindicate on Horn of Greed. He knows exactly what to do. Okay, Gaea's Blessing on... I think I want all of these. Is it right? Yeah. Another Oath is pretty bad. But I want to get rid of the cards in my hand to not give him the opportunity to... But one Verdict is gone. I will get the Oath down here, but yeah, he can just take advantage of the Oath and flip his own creature. Yeah, Vindicate on the Horn was game breaking here. Probably he will destroy our City of Brass. No? Yeah, we need another Horn of Greed right now. But if I attack with the chosen and he does not block with a dragon, we chip 4 damage in. Okay. Want to drop this, don't want to give him 6 life. Attack with the chosen, so worst thing that could happen is he blocks and he has a sword here. Ah, Decree. Yeah, we can scoop it up. Yeah, not a great starting point, but I want to keep this. Opt is so bad. I am really missing the lightning tutors in this build. Opt is absolutely unplayable. Just want to keep the opt up until we know what we are playing against. No need to fire it up, and so cost could be white blue Weenie or Dreadnought or control deck. And as long as we are hitting our land drops here, it's fine. So it still can be Landstill or Dreadnought. I want to fire up the Impulse here. Maybe we find a card which is okay against both of these. And it should be City of Brass. Okay, let me get the exploration down here. And then we can drop both of our lands. Because we can rebounce this Undiscovered Paradise. And I might cast Gush next turn, because we can drop both lands again. Disenchant on exploration is fine for me, but this tells me we are playing against Landstill, which should be a absolutely bad matchup. Because Oath of Druids is such a bad card against them, and our swords are bad too. So we really need to get ahead on time here. But we are already behind the time because we needed to clarify that we are playing a CPL match here. I do want the Horn of Greed. Maybe it's a bit greedy, but okay, another Paradise is fine. Do I want to drop the Horn now? I think I want to. We don't have a land drop then, but I want to pay for Mana Leak. That's the reason I dropped this before, and due to the fact we have Gush. This is fine. If he tries to counter this, I will go for the Gush. Okay, no counter here. So let's see. Standstill, I want to cast Gush in response. If we find a counter, we will go for it. Disappointing. Yeah, another dead card. Tough. It's tough. I mean, Oath of Druids is fine, and we even find a counterspell here. Good thing is he goes to 10 cards, and it's a must-answer threat for him. Of course, he can't win with his cycling lands then. Okay, I want to pay for the Mana Leak here. He will have another counterspell, probably, or just want to get rid of one card in his hand. Second one. The good thing is we can reshuffle our cards at some point with the Gaea's Blessings if they resolve. So he does not have the ability. It's a pretty awkward match up to play. Another Standstill. I think due to the fact he's... Okay, Time Warp. I will crack his Standstill with my Time Warp. Or do I want to cast Oath again? Yeah, I think Oath is fine. Maybe a bit too early, but we get a lot of stuff going and we need to get rid of the counterspells anyway. Impulse is fine. Okay, absorb maybe. Okay, don't know what that was, but maybe just a misclick or something. Modo is pretty awkward sometimes. Dust Bowl is strong. Yeah, I want to counter this for sure. Because this can just exile our creatures from the graveyard. He needs to discard 3, so it was not a huge problem for us to crack. Stand still. Discarding 3 lands. Okay, drop an island here. Draw a card. Attempt to time warp. Path the turn. Okay. I think Mishra's Factory is the strongest one here. So Mishra's Factory versus the rest. And I really want to lure him to take the factory, and then we have swords for that. Yeah, he took the factory. So I think it was the right decision. So in the end step, I might tap this to give him the opportunity to go for Dust Bowl with it. Okay, another Horn of Greed. This is great. So we are facing huge legs here again. He should have Counterspell for that. Okay. I'm wondering a bit, but let me get down this Windswept Heath. Another Oath. That's great. We are running that into Mana Leak, but I'm fine with that. Okay, the problem is we are facing huge legs here. So time might be again the issue. That's okay. Impulse or Wrath of God, Impulse or the rest. And he's milling himself out pretty quick. And if the with 2 Horn of Greeds, I think he's not allowed to drop any more lands. Soon. Okay, I want to fetch that right away, because then I have the ability to yield. And he can't Dust Bowl or fetch land when we are on yield. Okay, now I feel pretty decent, because for every land drop he does, he's drawing 3 cards together with his 1 draw from the turn. So he's on a pretty heavy clock here. Second factory is fine. I don't know if I want to play into a I don't think I have the necessity to play into a mana leak here. Okay, but one is new. Okay, he activated the wrong one. Yeah, that's fine for me. I don't want to sort here. Yeah, activating the wrong one is pretty easy to do on Magic Online because I think you need to do a right click to see what the new card is. Okay, now I feel pretty decent. Naturalize even. So get down one Undiscovered Paradise here. Exploration is great. Get down Exploration. Another Undiscovered Paradise. Skips a turn. Discarding 2 lands. Okay, now we are in a pretty decent position. I might even try to hardcast the Chosen soon. But we need to take a look at our cards so we don't draw ourselves to death if he has 2 counters for Gaea's Blessing. This is fine. Okay, go for the sword. Go for the Naturalize. I still want to have like 2 swords against a huge army with soldiers. That's a way for us to lose the game. Okay, here's a Counterspell. So now I want to try to sort this. Hopefully he counters again. I think he's stuck with a lot of sword supporters and things like this. Okay, Disenchant on Exploration. He could have, no, he couldn't. Okay, so here I want to play Island. Draw 2 cards. Another Horn of Greed. Okay, I can't drop another land here, but I think it's fine to try to go for the Chosen. He probably has a sword for this, but getting 17 life once would be enough, and if he has a counter for that, I could just replay it with Gaea's Blessing soon. So the thing is, he needs to have exactly enough mana to kill me in 1 hit. Otherwise, we are going to flip the Shard Phoenix. Next Mishra's Factory, we got a Swords to Protest for that, plus having Impulse and Counterspell up is great. He needs to play. Okay, let me draw an island here. Draw 2 cards. Gush is fine. Not sure what I want to find here, but I try to go for the impulse. Counterspell is fine. Okay. I want to ship the turn here. Discarding I think he cycles now his decree, which is fine by me. Because he can't attack for lethal, and then he needs to cast counters, Wrath of God, but they are both in graveyard, I guess. Okay, I want to discard Undiscovered Paradise and Flooded Strand. We have 19 cards in hand. And we have 2 Oath triggers. So we can resolve both. Because maybe the first one will shuffle back. I'm not sure if it's a way to win for him. If he attacks with Factory, I will sort this. Humility. That's a reason to counter. That's a strong one. I haven't thought about this, to be honest. So we need to find Naturalize next turn. He has another counter, okay. Mana Leak, I can pay for one, and this should be the 4th, if I counted correctly. But he might have Force Spike or something like this. So let's see. The Gush could find us a foil. Okay, now I'm feeling in a great position. Not attacking with the Factory there is interesting. Okay, now we have to do everything right. So this resolve this. Yes. Okay, Shard Phoenix, and now I think I want to keep priority. Okay, problem is we didn't found another one, but if I sacrifice it now, it will be reshuffled. But is this enough? Might be enough. Okay, no, I just want the reshuffle here. Okay, sadly we did not mill a Gaea's Blessing in the first one, so we didn't reshuffle our chosen. So if he has something like exactly Stifle, we might lose. 1, 2, 3, 4 Horn of Greed. Drop Island, draw 3 cards. This is bad. So now I have to play the Gush to have the ability to discard the chosen in the end step. Okay. Discard chosen, Flooded Strand, Island. So now it will be interesting. Here's a sword there. I think I want to look with impulse in response. I found a foil, which is decent. And I want to sacrifice this now to do 2 damage to each creature. Interesting. He has lethal there, but I have 1 sword plus foil backup. So let's see if it's enough. I don't know, maybe I needed to foil the creature, because I could just lose next turn. Okay, Counterspell, I got one foil, so he needs another counter. Discard this and that. Yeah, I needed to try to... or maybe not. I need to think later about this. Exploration is fine. Let me start with... maybe not... I don't want to tap this. Let me play Horn of Greed number 4. We do have some outs. So draw 4 cards here. Yeah, Sword is nice. Play Exploration. Undiscovered Paradise for 4 cards. Gaea's Blessing might be necessary. Or better Impulse. Find a second sword. Naturalize is decent. I think Naturalize is better here. Because we are not relying on having... Okay, he tapped Dust Bowl. So we can't get rid of both. And now we really need to take a look at the time. Okay, he's dead now. Otherwise he would have had lethal there. Okay, we are pretty far behind on time. Need to speed everything up. Meddling Mages is our way to victory. Annul might be decent. I don't want opts. Brain Freeze could win us a game. What else do we want? Maybe the Disenchants here for factories. I'm not sure. Time Warp is not great. Because it's a game about. The Chosen is not great. It's a game about. Time. But the good thing is we are ahead. That's not keepable. That's okay. So if you land Standstill there, I would absolutely go for cracking that with Gaea's Blessing. Okay, another Flooded Strand. Do I want to start resolving Horn of Greed? I think not now. Okay, Meddling Mage is enough for me to go for the first counterspell. Problem is if I go for double blue here, okay, I can fetch up a sword if he does not name sword with it. But I think he should name a card like Oath of Druids, because this could backfire pretty quickly. Okay, hopefully he names Oath of Druids. Okay, that's great for us. So now I will drop the Horn of Greed, then Flooded Strand. I need to keep priority so we do not draw the planes here. Then I want to draw a card. Another sword is sweet. Ships a turn. Disenchant on Horn of Greed? Yes. That's fine for me. I want to play Gaea's Blessing, targeting us with Horn of Greed, Counterspell, and Swords to Plowshares. Okay, that's fine for me. Drop the forest, play exploration, ships a turn. Ships a turn until end step. Tormod's Crypt is strong, so we don't have the reshuffle effect. Seal of Cleansing, okay. He's bulking up here. Okay, this was probably a bit fast on his side. Meddling Mage would be great. Foil is fine. I think there's an argument for foil. Okay, another blessing would be enough for him to crack. So I ship the turn back here. Impulse is fine. So we are getting ahead more and more in time. Sideboard is not great here. Okay, Horn of Greed, do I want to try it? Not yet, without mana in hand. Decree of Justice was 4. That's strong. I hope he activates the factory here. So we got one sword here. Okay, Meddling Mage, I want to foil this, absolutely. Okay, our own Meddling Mage is pretty strong. We need to land this, naming Swords to Plowshares. And then I want to cast Blessing on me with exactly 0 cards. So I am not exposed to this. Oath is nice. So this was a great draw with the Meddling Mage, because it can block a soldier each turn. Would still be strong if he has a humility or second decree, but I hope to resolve the Oath through a mana leak. And from this point we are in a great position. Counterspell is sweet. Let me get the Oath. Don't want to attack here. Factory is a decent blocker. I think I want to block again. Okay. Hopefully we don't mill us to death, because we find the creature so late. This is fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 Horn of Greed. Drop a forest. Gush is very nice. Still don't want to attack, but with a chosen later. So our plan B is to have a lot of spells on both sides and then brain freeze on our opponent. We need to counter humility. Okay, the problem is if we play Gush for alternative cost, we can't counter. So we need one more blue mana, I guess. I think I don't want to attack. In the end step, I would like to hardcast Gush. Okay, Furnace is fine. Not scared by that. Meddling Mage is not enough for me to counter. I'm not sure, do we have a Phoenix left? Yeah, and some Meddling Mages. So he probably names... don't know. Exploration? Okay, in the end step, I try to hardcast this. If it gets a counter, it's fine for me. Absolutely. Okay, I got an Oath trigger, which will mill a lot probably, but I'm willing to do it. Yeah, that's fine. Sadly, I milled the Brain Freeze here. Another Horn of Greed. Not for now, but I start attacking now with Chosen. Due to the fact it has First Strike, it's pretty nice. Okay. Kill all. We got First Strike. I think maybe it was not on the radar. Okay, here's a Oath trigger now, which is fine for me. Probably flipping a Meddling Mage. Exalted Angel could be a problem. Okay, forest is fine. So here I want to drop Horn of Greed before. I think we are fast enough to kill, so we are not in trouble of drawing too much cards here. Exploration is not forbidden anymore. So I might land this. And now I want to attack with the first strike and the flyer. Don't want to expose my Meddling Mage to Mishra's Factory. If I draw another blue source, I might cast Meddling Mage on Humility. I mean, it's nice that we got Decree of Justice secured with the Shard Phoenix. Second Factory is nice. Okay, this is fine for me. Yes, Island is great. Undiscovered Paradise. Play Meddling Mage, naming exactly Wrath of God. Because we have spells to answer Humility. Okay, now we are going to take again with the two creatures here. So he still has 4 cards in hand, which is a lot. And with a land drop, it's 6. So, but with this constellation of Meddling Mages naming the key spells on his side, we are in a decent spot. Factory. Okay, Naturalize on this. Absorb. I don't want to counter that, but I want to disenchant the factory here. Because it's not changing the clock. We are doing 6 damage a turn, and we have a redraw with Undiscovered Paradise now. Okay, Gush is fine. Okay, another Disenchant, so we could attack for 10. That does not change the clock. Plus it could be awkward if he has a Decree to cycle. Yeah, this is on our side, I guess. Standstill, yes, please. Okay, another one. Draw 3 cards here. Then I want to attack with these 2 again. He might have a Decree to do some blocking here. Now he sacrificed it into Dust Bowl, which is fine for me. Okay, discard this and one Gush. And we should be fine here. Yeah, on the clock it was a very close match. Meddling Mage is really shining here. I mean, if he has some standstill, yeah, okay, this is gone. Good games. All right, what a ride. So I have some thoughts about this. The first thought is like it is super awkward to play on Magic Online because with the amount of triggers, and I don't know if it's due to the fact that I have the video software running every time that it got so laggy. We just lose one match against our own clock, which was a bit sad. But on the other hand, yeah, it's pretty awkward to play. You have to do so many things right, and I did a handful of pretty bad play errors because I was so under pressure from the clock, and it never felt really great to play this deck. I think it's just due to the fact that Oath of Druids is so strong that this is a glue, which is allowing a bad deck to be played. And yeah, first things, these opt, they are not playable. So I really want to get rid of the opt if I ever want to play this again. And I was not a fan of Impulse. So probably opt and Impulse has to go for a playset of Enlightening Tutor. And to continue, yeah, it's tough to say, but the blue-green lists are running, I guess, a full playset of Treetop Villages, and I really love it to have a plan B, so I was really missing them. So if I want to ever try this again, I think I will. The fourth impulse should be the Gush, and besides that, we really need some amount of manlands, and I think I would play 3 Treetop Villages for the start. Maybe like cut 2 forests, cut a 3rd forest. Yeah, 2 forests should be not enough for providing green untapped mana, but yeah, let's start with 2 Treetop Villages or even 1 forest and the 4th impulse, because often you have to do better things with your mana, and later if you got the Horn of Greed engine running, it's not a great draw to get an impulse. I don't know, 4-2 is a pretty good showing in this deck tournament, and given that I've lost one match to timing and the other to perfect draw from black-white control. But yeah, you see it when you play a deck. Sometimes it flows, other times it's like with this deck. So I'm a bit disappointed by the play patterns. I think the Swords to Plowshares are a great addition to the deck, but they are forcing you into a 3rd color, and you try to merge 2 decks. So maybe just it's better to play the new Parfait deck then, or the Bund Oath deck. But yeah, just write in the comments, how do you like the deck? What do you think about this build? And thanks for watching. See you next time.